Nah, I don't know what the. What's up? What's up, chat? It's Friday. You know what I'm saying? I want to have a good time. Just yeah, no, I'm just be on my streaming today. But man, oh man, there's a lot of stuff still going on. When I mean like a lot, I mean a lot of stuff been going on lately. Damn, I guess I'm doing that. Speaking of the whole week going on, let's talk about like like WrestleMania for example. Now I have been watching night one, night two. Matches are good. Matches was decent, but I'm gonna start with night one. The main event was crazy. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. It was an interesting match. I'm not gonna hold you right there. The craziest part was after their entrances, Roman came out without his wise man. He go to the side. He's like, man, bro, my wise man should have walk in the wing with me. Why you do this to me like this? But he got CM Punk at his corner to walk with him. And boy, oh boy. The match was good, and then the ending was insane. I gotta stop doing this. Paul Heyman turned on CM Punk. He allies himself with Roman. Turned on him. He make an alliance with Seth Rollins. And also that he completely won the match. So that's just like, dang, bro. Like, so that was the favor all along since he told him. And I already knew Paul Heyman. He was what I like to call it, a glazer. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a D writer to any client that he with. The Brock Lesnar, the Big Show, to the CM Punk, the Roman Reigns is just now Seth Rollins. Like this man won't stop glazing on everybody. Like, oh my glorious king, of course I'll be with the bed with you. I'm an idiot for saying that. I am an idiot for saying that. But after I watched night one, I'm gonna talk about that whole Charlotte and Tiffany match. Like, what was going on at that point? That it was like a 2-star ratings, but the whole segment with the whole Tiffany and Charlotte half, it was went off script. I ain't gonna hold you right there, please. But it's not. You know what? I'm gonna check out. So you know what? I'm not gonna not plan to talk like that much long. I'm gonna check out Wrestling Revival. Why everybody hates Charlotte Flair so much? Huh? That's a good question right there. why did she get a lot of hate after she been around that company for 10 years? So, you know what? Let's check it out.
This is the
Hold up. There we go.
best tool for video creators. Let's see what real users have to say.
A checklist. Title wins, followed by short transitional reigns.
Hold up. It just hit
This is the best tool for video creators. Let's see what real users
Hold on
have
for
to
a
say.
second.
The disdain for Charlotte Flair isn't rooted in a lack of talent. No one can deny her athleticism, her presence, or her lineage. But that's exactly where the issue begins. Charlotte Flair isn't resented because she's a bad performer. She's resented because WWE has consistently forced the audience to accept her as the centerpiece of the women's division, whether they wanted it or not. Her path to the top hasn't felt earned. It's felt inevitable, and after more than a decade of it, fans have stopped seeing her as a competitor and started seeing her as a symbol of everything wrong with WWE's booking philosophy. It's not jealousy, it's
that's true
exhaustion.
right there.
Charlotte's first Royal Rumble win in 2020 was already controversial. It was tone-deaf booking at a time when so many other women were on the rise. Shayna Baszler had dominated in NXT and tore through the Rumble like a monster. All the signs pointed to her being crowned the new unstoppable force. But WWE, in its usual fashion, pivoted back to safety. Charlotte won, again. And instead of choosing a high-profile match on the grandest stage of them all, she decided to go after the NXT Championship, a move that not only baffled fans but damaged the very brand it was supposed to elevate. Her victory over Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 36 didn't create a new star. It crushed one. Ripley's momentum never fully recovered until years later, and even then, she had to claw her way out from under the shadow Charlotte left behind. The Royal Rumble is supposed to be a moment of rebirth, a platform to catapult new stars to the main event. Instead, it became another trophy on Charlotte's mantle, another statistic to pad her legacy. And the same story repeated itself when she returned again and again from injury or hiatus, only to be immediately slotted back into the title picture. Every time Charlotte was gone, the division breathed. It allowed other women like Bayley, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair, or Becky Lynch to explore long-term storylines and character arcs. But the second Charlotte returned, everything reset. The division stopped revolving around fresh dynamics and pivoted once more around her gravitational pull. That kind of repetitive hierarchy killed momentum for anyone not named Flair. Her repeated title wins are perhaps the most glaring source of resentment. 16 recognized reigns, many of which felt completely hollow, rushed, or designed solely to inflate her resume to match or surpass her father's legacy. What should have been a storied climb filled with iconic feuds became a checklist. Title wins, followed by short transitional reigns, followed by more wins. The championship stopped meaning anything when she held them. They were props, used not to tell a story or reflect a rivalry, but to validate her placement as the top of the division, regardless of whether the audience cared. It's not even about her being heel or babyface. Charlotte's alignment doesn't matter anymore because the crowd reaction is always the same: apathy or rejection. When she's booked as a heel, she doesn't feel like a cunning villain. She feels like management's favorite pet, gleefully toying with people she knows the company won't let beat her clean.
I think that's what it was, though. Like, in my opinion, that they are like, she's WWE's golden girl, no matter what. Like, they don't care. They want some of Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? But no matter, like, new talents came around, whether they come from the independents or they new upcoming talents from NXT, and they bury talents. Like, well, they want Charlotte to bury talents. But in my opinion, though, it was like this. Remember, at the time when Vince was still around, y'all know what he was. That he wasn't not much of a. He doesn't care about talents, nothing like that. He just want, like, the old talents to put under new talents and just folded it to the bag. That's what it was, in my opinion.
She's booked as a face, the disconnect grows even stronger. No one buys Charlotte as the underdog or as someone who needs to prove herself. Every story arc that paints her as someone overcoming adversity feels dishonest. The adversity isn't real, and the stakes never last long. WWE's refusal to let her lose in meaningful ways has stripped her of any real character growth. When Asuka's legendary undefeated streak came to an end at WrestleMania 34, it was Charlotte who broke it. And while the match was good, the decision was tone deaf. Asuka was the hottest women's act in WWE, built over years of dominance in NXT and then SmackDown. That streak wasn't just a gimmick, it was the foundation of her mystique, but WWE sacrificed it on the altar of Charlotte's myth-making. It wasn't to elevate a new talent. It was to enhance the legacy of someone who had already been champion multiple times. And the aftermath...
Yeah, I remember that. I cannot believe they made that decision to make Asuka lose. Bro, I gotta say this. Asuka, she dominated the whole entire scene since NXT. She was undefeated. Like, no matter a shadow of a doubt, she was. But in my opinion, like when she won the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania, I think, Asuka should have been won that, but it's like, you know what? They're gonna make that decision. Let's make her win. Let's make Charlotte win the belt, and not win the belt. Like, let's make Asuka have her first defeat.
The aftermath of that decision was telling. Asuka floundered, and Charlotte moved on, barely acknowledging the weight of the moment she was given. Time and again, Charlotte's opponents are forced to sell the idea that she's the mountain to climb, the final boss of the division. But the audience stopped buying that long ago. Not because she isn't credible, but because credibility needs resistance. It needs stakes, and Charlotte never has to struggle. Her obstacles are brief, her losses are rare, and her returns always lead straight to gold. Compare that to the way the four horsewomen rose together. Sasha had to scratch and claw for everything. Bayley had to reinvent herself as a heel to be taken seriously. Becky had to organically catch fire with the crowd before being pushed. Charlotte never needed to do any of that. She was given the keys from day one. Even outside kayfabe, the optics are frustrating. Whenever Charlotte is gone, WWE does everything in its power to maintain interest in the division. But when she's back, the promotion becomes lazy. Instead of investing in new stories or characters, they default to Flair versus whoever. It's uninspired booking that stifles...
It don't make no sense. Why did they add Charlotte in that match with Becky versus Ronda at WrestleMania? I don't know why they did that, though. Like, that don't make no sense. Oh, let's make Charlotte versus Asuka at SmackDown for the title and make Charlotte won the belt and made it at WrestleMania, and add that to a triple threat match. Like, man, like, come on now. Like I said, look, they doing everything they can to make Charlotte, stay in there.
Creativity, and leaves the fans feeling robbed of variety. You could name almost any major female star of the last decade, and chances are Charlotte has beaten them, often in unearned fashion, with minimal build. That pattern kills anticipation, it kills narrative tension, and it kills trust in the company's willingness to truly elevate anyone else. There's also the issue of how WWE centers its branding around her. Promotional material, interviews, legacy packages, they all push the same narrative. Charlotte Flair is the greatest women's wrestler of all time. But greatness isn't declared, it's felt. It's earned through storytelling, not tally marks. WWE's obsession with crowning her queen has overshadowed the organic rise of women like Bianca Belair, who actually connected with fans in ways Charlotte never could. Belair's journey was emotional. It resonated. When she won the Rumble and went on to headline WrestleMania 37, the crowd felt every moment. Charlotte's second Rumble win didn't feel like that. It felt like deja vu. The constant returns only worsen the perception. She'll vanish for months, sometimes due to injury or personal reasons, and then come back into a championship match as if nothing changed. No rebuilding phase, no earning her spot, just a coronation waiting to happen. That kind of booking tells fans that their investment in the week-to-week product doesn't matter, that wins and losses don't matter, that nothing anyone else does can override management's chosen one. It's telling that whenever Charlotte is out of the picture, the women's division flourishes with energy. Feuds like Becky versus Bianca, Bayley's Damage Cutterell saga, or Rhea Ripley's dominance have all felt fresh because they weren't orbiting Charlotte. There's freedom in her absence, but her presence always brings things back to the same cycle. Title match, title win, short feud, disappearance, rinse, repeat. Her character has also been one-dimensional for years. While others evolved, Charlotte remained static. Sasha explored her ego and vulnerability. Bayley became a delusional narcissist. Becky went from anti-authority rebel to cynical veteran. Charlotte has always just been the queen. No emotional arcs, no real development. Just the same regality, the same superiority complex, and the same booking. Fans crave depth, and Charlotte's presentation lacks it. The crown she wears became a barrier to growth, not a symbol of power. Even the way WWE uses commentary and production to frame her hurts her image. Matches are called as if she's already legendary, with every chop or moonsault treated like a generational moment. That kind of manufactured reverence feels disconnected from reality. Fans don't like being told who to worship. They like discovering greatness for themselves. With Charlotte, that discovery was never allowed. WWE pre-packaged her legend and demanded you accept it. And then there's the Royal Rumble 2024 situation. When she returned as a surprise entrant, again, after months away, the live crowd's reaction was ice cold. Not because they didn't know who she was, but because they did. The pop wasn't there. The electricity was missing. She eliminated a series of rising stars to make it to the final four. There's a reason why fans have rallied behind women like...
it was make no sense why they make her win the Royal Rumble match. Because I don't mind seeing, like, you know, rather it's Io, rather it's, who else? Rather it's Nia, Alexa Bliss, you know, she making that big return. And all these new rising stars from NXT, I don't mind them winning, but they just like, nah, let's make Charlotte gonna win. Let's make her win the second time. That way it would be a lesson learned, you know what I'm saying?
Like Liv Morgan, or Piper Niven, or Shotzi. Despite them not having Charlotte's pedigree, it's because those women feel real. Their struggles feel authentic. Their wins matter because they're rare and fought for. Charlotte's wins feel administrative, like WWE checking a box. She doesn't need to climb the mountain because she owns the map. And that disconnect between effort and reward is what drives the backlash. There's also a generational gap in perception. Fans who grew up with the women's revolution wanted change. They wanted long-term storytelling, multiple women in top spots, and believable mid-card feuds. But Charlotte's era of dominance kept narrowing the lens. Everything returned to her. Even when the division grew, she stood in the center like a monument WWE refused to move around. And the longer that lasted, the more resentment built. Every championship she wins is met with groans, not cheers. Every return is met with suspicion, not excitement. Not because Charlotte Flair isn't capable, but because WWE has never let her prove she needs to be. They gave her the mountaintop and never asked her to climb, and the fans noticed. What makes the prospect of Charlotte Flair winning at WrestleMania 41 feel so unbearable to fans isn't just the tired repetition of her victories. It's the symbolism of what that win would represent. WrestleMania is supposed to be the culmination of long-term storytelling, the payoff for emotionally charged arcs, the crowning of new stars, or the final triumphs of fan favorites who earned their moment through grit and resilience. Charlotte winning once again, especially on a stage like WrestleMania 41, doesn't feel like a story peaking. It feels like a corporation stamping its seal of approval on a legacy it's forced the audience to accept whether they wanted it or not. This isn't about discrediting her in-ring skills. Everyone agrees Charlotte is elite between the ropes. Her athleticism is world-class, and her performances are often technically sound. But wrestling has never just been about execution. It's about connection. It's about journey. It's about making the audience feel something. And for years, Charlotte has lacked that connection, because the audience isn't being invited along for the ride. They're being told where it ends before the story even starts. That's why the reaction to her WrestleMania involvement this year has been so ice cold. No one feels like they're watching a path unfold. They feel like they're being dragged toward a conclusion WWE already wrote. Her placement on the WrestleMania 41 card, once again in a title match or marquee bout, feels like another example of WWE choosing familiarity over creativity. They have a stacked women's division, brimming with stars who have built themselves up organically, whose moments would mean something. But the Charlotte Flair system operates outside meritocracy. She doesn't need wins on Raw or SmackDown. She doesn't need to stay hot with the crowd. She doesn't need to cut compelling promos or rework her character.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Yeah, like, I agree with what he's saying, you know, like, she don't care whether she wins or lose. she'll always like be around as longer that fans don't want her there, and she don't care. But hey, you know, I would say it is like they don't care. Rather, they want some of Charlotte. You know, the creativity back there. It'd be like, man, we want some Charlotte. Oh, excuse me. But that's on another topic right there. Man, oh man. Damn, bro. Speaking of that, sheesh. It's somebody when the future who's the one on mine. Alright. Before I had to check something on Instagram real quick. Man. So y'all heard of what's this guy's name I watch in UFC? I watch Michael Chandler. His fight against Paddy Pimblett. Yeah, at that fight I watch. Chandler is on what I like to call it. Like, hold up. He lost to Oliveira, lost to Gagey. Then he lost to Poirier. He lost to Oliveira again, but he lost to Paddy Pimblett. Dude's on a 5 losing streak at this point. He only got 2 wins in his UFC career. I mean, his MMA career. Like, the others was Dan Hooker and Tony Ferguson. It got me thinking, like, I don't think Michael Chandler's not going to win every fight that they going to put him through. I don't know who's going to be the next opponent for him, but I'm just going to think that it could be either it's going to be Gaethje or Max Holloway or even Ilia Topuria, but I'm going to check out the Fighting Business. This fake nice guy is the dirtiest fighter in UFC. Huh. How do you get that titlement, the dirtiest fighter? So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and check this out.
Living with opioid addiction can be a struggle. Supplicate with Counseling is for adults with moderate to severe.
White privilege is not on the line.
Okay, let me go ahead. This right here.
Michael Chandler had everyone fooled, and for so very long.
I am Dana's favorite fighter. Dana White privilege is not on the line here. I've already got it.
When he arrived in the UFC, he was the ultimate fan favorite, a Bellator legend with a workhorse mentality, a humble yet confident fighter who talked a talk, walked a walk, and quickly won over fans with his relentless fighting style and motivational speeches.
It's not that people don't do the right things, it's that they don't do the right things for long enough.
But over time, the cracks started to show, and we got a glimpse at the real Michael Chandler.
We spoke immediately after. Dude, he's just such a freaking fake, dude.
The non-stop positivity felt rehearsed. The nice guy act seemed more like a marketing strategy.
It is not who he was a few interviews ago with Ariel Helwani, or it's not who he was when the mic's in front of him in the octagon. He was a different guy whenever we sat next to each other in Abu Dhabi and spoke.
And inside the cage, don't get me started. Chandler wasn't just bending the rules, he was outright breaking them while the referee just stood there watching him.
O que aconteceu foi que ele me deu dedo nos olhos, o meu olho que tá vermelho pra caraco.
From blatant fouls to underhanded tactics, he has now built a highlight reel that is filled with as much controversy as it is with chaos.
And I told him he's a dirty motherfucker too, for putting his fingers in my mouth and blowing his nose, and you know.
This is the story of how Michael Chandler went from one of our golden boys to definitely the dirtiest and one of the most polarizing fighters in the sport.
A lot of Michael Chandler shit, pretty much everything he does, immediate point taken away.
And despite the tape and receipts, he'll still look at you in the eye and tell you otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of the commentary when it comes to the misinterpretation of what the back of the head is by the unified rules of mixed martial arts, the misinterpretation of what cage grabbing is, but more than anything, I'm an honest guy. I try to live pretty full of integrity and full of honesty.
I don't think he's not no honest guy, in my opinion. It's just that back of the head shot was illegal. Like, bro, what? What do you mean?
Thank you to the Fighting Business. Absolutely amazing. One of my favorite new channels going right now.
When Chandler made his UFC debut, he promised us a good time. Nothing controversial or phony, just professionalism, class, violence, and activity because he didn't have too long left in the game.
What you want about me in or outside of the cage, I've never once taken a backward step. I've never once been in a boring fight. I want to come forward and I want to have a good time out there. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Despite being an outsider, UFC fans appreciated his approach and welcomed him with open arms. Even more surprisingly, the UFC brass took a liking to him, even though he was not a homegrown star.
Michael Chandler will weigh in case anything happens to Khabib or Justin. We're excited about that. Great kid. You know, now that I've got to know him a little bit, he's a great guy. So he is now part of the UFC family.
Just one KO victory over Dan Hooker, and Chandler was already getting a title shot against Charles Oliveira for the vacant belt. By the way, this Oliveira guy had built up an 8-fight win streak in the most competitive division in the sport. Chandler got it after 1. He still came pretty close to knocking him out,
Yeah,
but
he did.
the Bronx rallied and finished him, capturing the vacant title. So close to becoming a UFC champion in his second bout with the promotion. That had to sting a bit, but Chandler was gracious in defeat and all class.
Charles Oliveira's the real deal. Listen, I take nothing away from him. I will be back. I promise you I'm going to wear that UFC strap within the next 12 months.
Good on him. After the loss to Charles, Chandler faced Gaethje, and the highlight said something interesting.
So it's been a while since I fought someone I didn't like. For some reason, you're a little different.
In hindsight, at least.
Excited again to fight someone that I don't like. I have no reason not to like you, but something about your face just makes me want to.
I wonder why Gaethje didn't like him. Anyway, they fought, delivered a war, and Chandler lost. There was a little scene though. In the second round, Chandler poked Gaethje in the eye and punched him right after. Looked kinda sus on the replays, but hey, Chandler bled and got his face mangled for us, and he was all respect in the post-fight interview.
It's definitely the first time in my career that I did.
Oh yeah, I technically remember this fight. This is when Gaethje and Chandler have an epic battle, and it's still the greatest fight of all in the UFC history, in my opinion. But yeah, I see what he did. He did to Gaethje right there. You know, poked him in the eye, and then trying to knock him out, but eventually he was trying to play a dirty move. Like, nah, I saw that, bro. You literally trying to poke the man's eyes, trying to make it go blind. Like, I don't know what you thinking for that. But still, though, Gaethje still won the fight.
Didn't care whether I won or lost. I've been trained, we can hear our coaches. Could not hear a thing, so I was out there by myself, unfortunately. And when I'm left to my own devices, it's a lot of ill-advised things happen. But they were entertaining, so the fans won that fight.
But now he was 1-2 in the UFC, and he needed a big win, a demonstration that he belonged among the top lightweights and deserved his top 5 ranking. He got that, and it wasn't just a win, it was a moment, like KO of the year moment as he crushed Tony Ferguson with a kick to the face. That kick was so brutal that it left Tony completely motionless for a few minutes, and while he laid unconscious, Chandler decided it was a great idea to do around 8 backflips next to a motionless Tony Ferguson. Not too classy this time. There was a definite shift in the reception towards Chandler after this. Might be because of his over-the-top celebration right next to a fallen opponent, or it was because Tony was so beloved. He was still fairly liked, but not for too long.
No, Mike was very professional there. He kept it moving. But that was the first time I seen him in person since Abu Dhabi and since he went on record saying all this stuff. So when I saw him, I wanted to tell him what I thought about him and do it in interviews, but I don't do that type of stuff. I'd rather tell him when I see him. That's what that was.
Dustin Poirier did not like Chandler one bit, and from the start, you could tell there was legitimate animosity between these two. Chandler, as usual, tried to sugarcoat his way through the process, but Dustin called him out and dropped the F-bomb. Fake.
He's fake, bro. And he might be a good person at home, but my personal experience, he's fake.
Wait,
man.
You're telling me a guy who runs a YouTube podcast called Walk on Wisdom isn't who he says he is? No way.
And that if you want to soar with the eagles, you can't be pecking around with the chickens. And it's a very cliche.
When Chandler faced Poirier at UFC 281, he ended up proving him right. It was an important fight for both, even more for Chandler, sure, but that night, Iron Mike Chandler, the consummate professional and the nicest guy on the block who preached hustle, loyalty, and respect, committed just about every foul there is. The headbutts and back of the headshots were bad, but you can look past them as they happen occasionally, and most of the time unintentionally. But there was no mistaking Chandler's intention when he fish-hooked Poirier in an attempt to lock in a submission. But what truly triggered Poirier, and for good reason, was Chandler blowing his bloody nose on his face. I won't go into detail or play the clip, but just know this. It was disgusting and filthy. And when Chandler was asked about this in a post-fight interview...
Yeah, I totally remember that. Yeah, he low-key did put fingers in Poirier's mouth, trying to go for the rear naked choke, and then pouring down blood into Poirier. Yeah, that was disgusting, bro. I'm not gonna lie, but Poirier literally, he literally put him in his place for that. Like, that first round, like, Chandler did, like, was pressuring for it until that freaking hook caught him off guard and go keep busting him open. That's the reason why his nose is bleeding in the first place. But sheesh, man, it was just round 2. I knew something tells me he was gonna play dirty the whole time. Like, bro, what are you doing? Stop playing. Stop cheating. Like, for real.
He blamed gravity. I'm not kidding.
It wasn't a malicious, weird thing, but it was definitely like, hey man, sorry you're down there, but I didn't create gravity.
Guess Dustin was right after all. Chandler wasn't as professional as he portrayed, at least not in the cage where it mattered the most. But despite the cheating Chandler did, he still ended up losing by submission in the 3rd round, making him 2-3 in the UFC and nowhere close to a title shot anytime soon. At this point in his career, Chandler stepped away from the championship hunt and pinned all his hopes and dreams on a psychotic multimillionaire who couldn't give 2 shits about him, Conor McGregor.
Very smart there. He lost last 3 fights. Very smart. Took the fight McGregor. McGregor, they have same streak. Last 4 fights, they lose 3 times. He's so smart.
They did The Ultimate Fighter together and Chandler clung on to that. And for the next 2 years of his career, he gave the same lame speech about how professional he was, how the fight was going to happen. The road for Conor goes through Nashville, Tennessee, whatever the fuck. It was the same promo every interview and it got annoying real quick. McGregor was out there partying, getting into brawls at funerals and punching mascots, but somehow Chandler believed that they were going to finish The Ultimate Fighter 31.
All right, guys, here I am again. Conor McGregor is out of 303 versus Michael Chandler with an injury.
When McGregor pulled out of the main event of UFC 303 and took Chandler's soul without even fighting him, Chandler still kept going on about it. Every interview, every press conference, and every social media post, it was the same tired speech. Conor McGregor owes it to the fans.
His road back to the UFC goes through me. It goes straight through Nashville, Tennessee, and Michael Chandler. We've got to finish The Ultimate Fighter 31.
This fight is happening.
Conor McGregor, get your candy out!
Oh yeah, he went.
The most professional.
Oh yeah, he went to Raw when he's still begging. He still want that Conor McGregor fight, but like dog, it's not going to happen. McGregor is not thinking about fighting with you because he's focused on partying. We all knew McGregor is not thinking about coming back to the octagon. We already knew for a minute Conor McGregor was going to build it up for something. But nah, Chandler wanted to. He wanted that Conor McGregor fight so badly. He's still glazing on him. Like, jeez, dude. Like, hey. I get it. You know, you want that dream fight, you want people's attention, but it's not going to happen. Because we all know McGregor out there, he's still doing a lot of dumb things outside the octagon, in my opinion.
And exciting guy in the sport. Please like me.
I've been doing hand-to-hand combat since I was 14 years old. I have never once pulled out of a fight, a wrestling match, never missed weight, so I've been a man of my word. They still said when he comes back, he has to fight you.
McGregor was out there doing everything except fighting, while Chandler was basically that one guy in a toxic relationship, refusing to accept the breakup. But while he was busy chasing a fight that was never going to happen, the UFC had other plans, and in a move that shocked absolutely no one, Chandler somehow ended up in a title eliminator at UFC 309 against none other than Charles Oliveira, the same guy who had already finished him for the belt, an obvious case of Dana White privilege.
Chandler hadn't fought in 2 years, had been left on red by McGregor, and his last win was against a washed-up Tony Ferguson back in 2022. But sure, let's pretend like he deserved a #1 contender fight against Charles.
I like to say Chandler 1.0 was out for blood. Chandler 2.0 is out for the title. I believe I'm champion in 2025. This will be a #1 contender fight. I will be the highest ranked guy not named Arman Tsarukyan or Islam Makhachev. At some point we'll fight in 2025 and I will hold that belt over my head as the oldest lightweight champion.
It hatched some sort of grand plan about beating Charles, then beating Holloway for the BMF title, then defeating Islam to become the oldest UFC lightweight champion ever. And no surprise, McGregor was still on his mind. Of course he was.
The title was the #1 goal, but there is some unfinished business. Chandler versus McGregor, tough 31. It needs that chapter needs to close at some point.
Thankfully though, Charles derailed that master plan despite fighting Chandler and the referee at the same time. For the second fight in a row, Chandler was allowed to do as many fouls as he wanted.
Yep,
from
plain
grabbing
dirty.
the fans to hooking the gloves. But what truly irked fans were the shots to the back of the head.
Back of the head shot from Chandler. Tie him up all. Dude, these are all back of the head shots! Ref! Ref, they're all back of the head! You're watching it!
He was dog-walked and dominated for most of the fight, but when he eye-poked Charles and stunned him right after, he landed about a dozen shots there, and you can't even give him the benefit of the doubt here. Those were deliberate, and it destroyed whatever was left of Chandler's nice guy shtick he had been playing since his UFC debut.
A lot of blows to the back of the head, a lot of fence grabbing. There was also some eye pokes. I would hope that he would intervene, but nothing happened, so.
He wasn't as classy as he seemed.
I am the hardest worker in the gym. Every gym I go to, I'm the hardest worker. I live life right. I do the right things.
He wasn't the consummate professional he swore to be.
In mixed martial arts, you're not just fighting against your opponent. You're fighting against yourself.
He wasn't active like he used to be.
Created something for you guys today, talking about those times that we fail and fighting your way back to the top.
He was still exciting, but with the forced toxic positivity, despicable cheating, and unhealthy thirsting had turned the fan-favorite lightweight into one of the most divisive fighters on the roster.
Nah, that don't make no
it's
sense.
one thing for us, the fans, to
I
dislike
took
someone,
no
but when the
damage.
majority of your own community,
on
including a guy like Charles, has little respect for you, that says a lot, doesn't it?
Se continuasse ali, eu poderia pagar, eu poderia ter uma lesão, eu poderia ter algo, e aí a vitória poderia ir pro Michael Chandler, ou eu podia até me lesionar muito mais feio.
You know, I think it's blatant fouls. A lot of the Michael Chandler shit, pretty much everything he does, immediate point taken away.
He's fake, bro. And he might be a good person at home, but my personal experience, he's fake, man. And he's a cheater. And then, dude, bro, I could go on for days. I get so amped up about this.
And, of course, I gotta end with this.
Conor McGregor, if you can ever get your house back in order, while us real professionals have been keeping the octagon warm, we're wondering where you've been, Conor. Come back and beat me.
Give it a rest, bro. At this point, McGregor has a better chance of becoming the president of Ireland than sharing the octagon with Chandler. Literally.
And now entering the octagon, the notorious president of Ireland, Conor McGregor. What fucking right I will, of course. Are you crazy? That's part of why I want to do it.
Yeah, I don't think it's not gonna happen.
So, after everything, who really is Michael Chandler? Along the way, something changed, or should I say, the facade was slowly exposed and eventually cracked open for the world to see. It started to feel less like a genuine persona and more like a calculated performance. Here's Chandler's problem. He tries way too hard to be the John Cena of the UFC. The same rehearsed promos, the same forced grin, the same never shut up mindset that fans eventually got tired of. But while Cena was a scripted WWE character, Chandler is practicing this corny shtick on a UFC microphone, preaching professionalism outside the cage while doing the exact opposite inside of it. At some point, the actor wore thin, and after years of corny, empty speeches, blatant cheating, and chasing a fight that was never going to happen, the fans and his own peers have started to see right through it and now treat him as a laughing stock. But I guess being in a loving relationship with the UFC, as he likes to repeat, has its benefits, and maybe that's all you need.
Yep. I don't think that fight's not gonna happen anytime soon. Not matter of fact, the fight with Conor McGregor is out the window because McGregor focused on a lot of money moves, but Chandler he got to get his wins back up and he got to stop thinking about Conor McGregor. That's in my personal opinion right there. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Hold up. me. Man, I cannot stop. My eyes are even so touching my ear. Like, what is going on? Uh-oh. But don't put the blame on me. See, I did it again though. What the heck? I guess the heater's the one going crazy on me. Just me could turn it on. See, I won't stop doing it again, man. What the heck? Go what? I'll be right back. Let me go wash my hands, dog. Like, alright, I'm back. Just wash my hands real quick, but man, this is crazy. And I don't know why I'm singing. It's like, nah. All right. So much talking about. Hold up. I'm gonna be stream for a little bit, but you know, I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna let you know. This is my first time streaming on my YouTube channel. Just to let y'all know that I still do streaming on my Twitch, but I never stream on my YouTube channel before. Just to let y'all know that for sure. Wait. Bro, what was that dance move that I remember on Kicking It? Hold on, what was that dance move? What was that guy's name? It's something about, like, you know. Hold up. I hope I misspelled it right. That's right here. Nah, that ain't it though. Hold on. I'm trying to find it though. Cause it's that one dance move.
Get this stupid bottle open.
Oh, I got it.
How'd you do that?
Oh, I used my stomach. I got really tight abs.
How did you get tight abs working out at my dojo?
Oh, I'm sparring with Jack. You know, I've gotten so used to his stomach blows that my abs tighten up before he even hits me. I remember this thing. Yeah, the last time we were here, I thought it was a fake, and I pulled this.
Listen to this fella.
I used to look like this. Thanks to ninja abs, now I look like this. Woo! Yeah, my abs are so ripped I can do fun things like this.
Wow, that's real Parmesan cheese, people!
That I would not eat it.
Absy!
I've been watching you. You're different.
I get that a lot.
You're not from around here.
Hold up. Nah, it was Jerry's dance. Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm a Pie Boy Max. I really got plaques. Let me see if they done this challenge, because I've seen a lot of people on TikTok does this challenge before. Is it this one right here?
Her beauty's crazy. I watch her from the crowd.
Nah. Hey, hold up. I guess you gotta go on TikTok to just gotta go do the dance challenge. But my Pie Boy Max, and I really got plex. Hold on, let me.
Woo! Yo, DJ, what is it? Rock a little song like a
esta gente que está haciendo. Whoa. Stop.
Where'd he go? Just disappeared.
That was close, yo.
Yo, I can move legs smooth. It's just a split. I can do a split. Check it.
Oh, I think your pants just ripped.
That wasn't my pants.
Nice. Again. That was good.
Well, you know what?
Check it.
It's that dance move I can't get. Hold up.
What's happening?
Let's go. Okay. That was good. Again. It's good.
Hey guys.
Seriously? Again?
Hold up. It was that dance move that he did. I'm trying to figure out how I still can do it. It's that. Hold up. I'm sorry, real quick. It's the. Hold up. I can't even get it though. Look, chat. I'm still trying to get it though. That dance move is hard. I mean, it is tough to do it, but that cross step, I can't do it. I can't even do it. Hold up, wait. This is. I still can't even do it. Like, what the fuck, man? Hold up, it's a song. I don't meditate. Damn, because I'm rich. What is that song though? Like, I'm trying to like. Hold up. I'm trying to figure out what that song was. I think it's this right here. Hold on a second though.
Yeah, she's like, boy, you better not cheat. I'm like, tell it's how it gotta be. That's why I gotta leave. I smoked the blunt and went viral for the week. I got a lot of reach. Me the streamer and make them hot as me. That's why I gotta leave. I smoked the blunt and went viral for the week. Goddamn, get off my Diesel. Get off my Diesel. Goddamn, get off my Diesel. Get off my Diesel. Damn, Diesel. Damn, Diesel. Damn, Diesel. Damn, Diesel. I'm not these rappers, I got real bands. In the crib, bustin' my Talil dance. I don't troll, I do it for the real fans. Play this song and turn it with my little man. And my real name Max. And I really got plaques, yeah. Double digits, no cap. I'm the real Plaque Boy Max. Plaque Boy Max. Yeah.
Hold up, I think I found it. Hold up, let me see. Oh, that ain't it. Damn it, I'm trying to find it. Why is it so small for you? I don't know if you get that. Nope. Guess so, I guess so. But still. Hold up.
Yeah, double digits. And I.
Hold on, wait. Let me try it again. Let me try it again, chat. Let me try it again. Cause this dance, look. This dance move is tough. No cap. Oh, no, wait. So y'all can see my feet. There we go. So, all right. It's the. But I can't, bro. Hold up. Let me. Damn, man. Now I got.
Tell Lil dance, I don't troll, I do it for the real fans. Play this song and turn it with my low man. And my real name Max. And I really got plaques, yeah. Double digits, no cap. I'm the real Pac Boy Max. Pac Boy.
Like, bro, the dance move is tough, though. I'm not going to lie. It is so fucking tough. It's a freaking cross step, cross while you still, like, you know, do it. You know, this with your feet. It's a hard dance move, though. I'm not going to cap with y'all right there. I'm going to keep it a buck. It's the... Hold up. No, wait. Hold up. But, hey, I'm working on it in the chat. I'm working on it. I still can't even get the dance move right. What the flying fuck, man? Like, I still can't even get it. Like, how is it so hard? How so hard for me to do it? I'm not my name's. I'm gonna get it though. But hey, I'm gonna do the end of my stream here. But I'm still gonna get used to this stream right here on my channel right here, and I'm still gonna be able to still do streaming on Twitch. So y'all enjoy y'all good day, man, and I'll see y'all probably next time. Deuces.